Hi, good morning, welcome to Lee's Travels. Today we are taking a train from my local train station just outside of Newcastle up to Carlisle, where we will be taking a Loganair flight into Southend Airport. It's my first flight on a propeller plane in a long time, so my last propeller plane flight was a Dakota DC-3 when it retired from service in the UK, so a little while ago. This plane hopefully today will be around 30 years old. I'm sitting in C4A window seat. We're heading down to Southend, so looking forward to flying Loganair. So here's to a great flight. The train journey to Carlisle takes you through the Tyne Valley and through some lovely little towns, Hexham, Haydenbridge and Haltwhistle, and this place is also known as Hadrian's Wall country. If you've never heard of Hadrian's Wall, give it a Google. Hi, so I am here in Carlisle. Train journey took about an hour and 25 minutes. As you can see, we've got Carlisle Citadel in the background. It's a 16th century building, so it's a great little city, well, town, city. Have a look around if you ever visit. I am waiting for the minibus to the airport. It runs in conjunction with the arrival and departures time for Loganair flights from the airport. Airport also has free parking, which is really good. That's until 31st of December this year, as I read on the website last night. But I'm waiting for the minibus. Once I get there, I will keep you updated and see what happens. The minibus was a little bit late, and me and the family travelling were getting a bit concerned and nearly jumped in a taxi to get to the airport. Eventually though it turned up, and it took around 15 minutes to get there. The free shuttle, it's run by a taxi company in the town, and it will run until the 31st of December this year, and it's free of charge. The driver was giving us some information on the airport and told us that he'd heard Loganair need to have at least 17 passengers per flight to break even. And so far they've done this without any problems, which is quite interesting. Carlisle Airport, it is the gateway to the Lake District. It is owned by Stobart, and commercial flights started in June early this year. It's pretty small, one check-in desk, small security area, and not a very big departure lounge. My concern is that if the airline does expand, there's not going to be very much room for more customers. As you can hear, it's pretty windy. Gusts were blowing about 30-35 miles an hour to this afternoon, so it should be an interesting takeoff. actually into runway 25 for takeoff. We passed the airport museum on the left hand side, which as you can see houses a Vulcan bomber. It was quite bumpy on departure, as expected with the strong winds, and just as we reduced our climb power, we entered into the rain. The seatback pockets are huge on this aircraft, and I managed to put my iPad in there as well as the magazines that were already stored. On top of that, I had a battery pack and my GoPro carry case. I flipped through the in-flight magazine, literally, and looking at the aircraft safety card, you can clearly see the aircraft's Estonian origins. Legroom wise, this aircraft isn't great, so it's good that it's just a short hop down the south coast. I'm only 5'9" and I was struggling, but there are a few tall people in the aircraft over 6 foot who were squashing their seats. The tray table is a decent size in here, but as you can see, it was showing its age. I didn't use it though, as Loganair do deliver a complimentary onboard service. I decided on orange juice and a caramel wafer. Well, you've got to when flying Scotland's national airline. We'd been in the air for about 40 minutes when we crossed over the counties of Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire and into Essex, starting our descent. This is when we had to make a few turns to dodge some of the bigger clouds in the area, and you could feel how windy it was with the aircraft being bumped and pushed around. just a bit of a bumpy landing. Well, I managed to pick up the piece of my GoPro from the floor, pulled out my trusty iPhone and kept on filming. There's some interesting aircraft on the ground here today. Turns out that these aircraft have been part of a Battle of Britain memorial flight. Here are two Jota Aviation aircraft that I sometimes see in the northeast of England when they're doing football charters and teams are visiting Newcastle United. And here are those two Warbirds, a Hurricane and a Spitfire. There had been a Lancaster bomber here earlier in the day, but unfortunately it departed before we arrived.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Hi, so here we are at Southend Airport. We arrived in, there's a train just arriving behind me, so it might be a bit noisy. That flight, great little flight out of Carlisle. I thought it was going to be a little bit more bumpy on the flight out, on the way out, but it wasn't too bad, cloudy. Clouds started to clear above Manchester, which was quite good. And then we got to approaching Southend, and yeah, it was pretty windy. Long time since I've been in a proper aircraft. As I said, it was a Dakota DC-3 about 10 years ago. So this flight was I'm normally used to being in a lot bigger aircraft. It was fun, don't get me wrong, thrown about a little bit, but actually, as you can see from the video, we hit the ground so hard that the back flight broke. I do have an app called SAAB, which tells about turbulence and has lessons on there for fear of flying, but one other thing it does have on there is a geometer, and at one point we had hit 1.9 G on the flight in here. So yeah, it was pretty bumpy. Great views, and you can't beat viewing that propeller. They're huge. Yeah, really good. A lot of good thumbnails. So I am finished my journey here. Loganair, great airline. I find it fantastic that they're able to give you a snack service on board. For such a small airline, such a small aircraft, it's really personalised service. Cabin crew are really good. Had a few comments from the pilot just to keep us informed throughout, which I like. Because I have flown before where pilots don't really say anything, so it is really good to find out what you're doing. So I am finished my journey here. So I am off to London now, central London, where I will be heading out to Heathrow from there to get my flight back up to Newcastle. But that is another story. So thanks for tuning in. If you like them, please subscribe to the video. There should be more coming soon. Thank you.